Welcome back to the Avengers. Before we get into anything game related, I just want to apologise to everyone that watched my video that was titled Most Ridiculous Microtransactions. All I did for that video was look through different articles and I found several saying the same thing, but they didn't know themselves, they weren't 100% accurate, so I took their information, used it, and it was wrong. I will still put my opinions out there. I never bashed the microtransactions. I did state that both you can pay for them with real money, or you can also spend time in the game and earn all of these challenge cards for free. But the game is now available. I've done a tips video for it. There will be more videos coming soon. I was so wrong with this, and again, I'm in the wrong, so apologies for my reaction to the beta. I simply jumped on, I was very hasty, very harsh with what I said about the game, and I said it completely sucks. I bought the game on PC, I've been playing it, I pretty much spent like 6 hours on it in one day, and I don't normally do that when I'm playing games by myself. I play for an hour or two and then just go off and do something else. But this game, to me personally, I know some of you will still disagree with this, but to me personally, this game is amazing. Just playing and seeing the difference, because when you play the beta, they give you like cuts out of missions and you don't see all the cutscenes and stuff because they just want you to get into the combat, and that's why I believe some of it has passed off to a lot of hate, because they've just given you the combat. The combat, even though it's not too bad once you get into it, is not the best of combat. We have seen better in games, even of recent times, and gaming's been an absolute shambles for the last few years. But once you get into the game, you're leveling up your characters. I believe Hulk is now up to power 25 or something for me. You do unlock skills that give you different combat moves, and it does still get repetitive, but it just feels different because there are several extra moves you can do instead of the few that we were available to like at the start of the beta. So in this video, I do have a couple of tips from my playthrough, like my time playing the game. I'm still getting into it, so there's going to be a lot more that I haven't experienced yet. There's probably going to be some parts that I'm going to miss out and stuff, but this is just general stuff from me playing and just recording my gameplay and looking back through it. So there was one thing I did experience, which it was a little bit irritating to not be able to experience that, but at the same time I had subtitles to back it up, so it wasn't too bad. But that was the fact that there was no sound during a few of the missions, including the Tundra mission that you're seeing the gameplay for in the background. There was no environmental sounds, no Jarvis, no enemy sounds, no nothing. I was literally just, I think I was hearing Hulk smashing the ground and that was it. Like, a lot of the sound had bugs and stuff with it, but there was a day one patch. This like fix for this wasn't included in that. So hopefully if the developers are made aware, they can get on a fix to fix that as soon as possible, because it has happened several times. It wasn't just that one mission. Although the game does sound really, really good when all of the sounds are working. One of the tips is to make sure that you pick up any gear before you kill the last enemy in a mission, or just any combat area, because you're not necessarily going to know when the end of the mission is. So every single area, at the start of the game at least, make sure you're picking up all of the gear, because if it's the end of the mission, you will not get a chance to go and pick it up. It will say end of mission, you'll be stuck in place, then it will just take you back to the Quinjet and back to the war table. And then you get further into the game, you start unlocking vendors and stuff, and the game does get a lot more in-depth when you get further into it. It's just, the start is kind of an introduction to the game, the characters, and for an example, when you first start, you're Miss Marvel, then you're introduced to the Hulk, then you're introduced to Iron Man. That's as far as I've got so far. I've got 3 more characters to get a hold of. I would strongly recommend using your tactical awareness. On the PC, it's V on the keyboard. On controller, I believe it's one of the directions on the D-pad. But when you use this during a mission, it will pop up on screen and you'll have like the main diamond, which is your like primary objective, but you'll also have some that have like question marks. When you go over to these, they can be bounties, they can be depots, they will contain chests and they can drop gear, resources. They're incredibly helpful, so take advantage of that tactical awareness being available to use. But now I want to talk to you about the microtransactions in the game, because they do not work anything how I've explained them in the past, and I want to clear this up. I'm going to be deleting my previous video when I originally spoke about the microtransactions. I'll keep my beta video on the channel because that was me giving my first impressions for the game and I wasn't too happy at the time. So I'll leave that video up, but the one about the microtransactions will be deleted because there is wrong information, so that is misleading. So that will come off the channel as soon as you guys see this video. Just know that that one has been deleted. So the microtransactions, each of the 6 launch characters all feature a challenge card, which is basically a battle pass. There are 40 tiers to go through. I looked into them because originally I thought that you get these, then every single post-launch character will have the same thing, costing you $10 to be a part of, and although you can get them for free by saving up your credits, I never thought in a million years a development company would actually be as nice as they have been over at Crystal Dynamics and through Square Enix. Because with these launch character challenge cards, you are still awarded credits. They still have all 40 tiers, and I never thought a development team would do this because you see so many games being greedy, like Valorant charging $300 for one bloody weapon skin. You've got games that just throw battle passes at the players. Like if you look at Division 2, their season passes, the premium track just features like all 100 tiers, minus maybe the end one because you get an exclusive mask, but every other tier will just feature stuff that's available by playing the game. These challenge cards actually award you credits, and it's more than 1,000 credits each one. I believe it's 1,200. So through the 6 launch characters, you're getting 7,200 credits, which is $72 worth of credits, completely free. All you got to do is purchase the game, play through the game, level up them challenge cards, and all of those credits are yours. If all of them have 1,200, and that's if I remember it correctly, it might be a little bit different, there might only be 1,000. I'm pretty sure when I had a look there was 1,200. But just know that even if I've got the value wrong, you are still getting, even if it's 1,000 credits per challenge card, you're still being awarded 6,000 credits if you play the game enough and level up your characters. So that is still $60 worth of credits they are giving you just for simply playing the game. That is probably the nicest thing I've seen developers do for a long fucking time. And that's why I'm a lot happier playing this game. If there are little things here and there that are bugging me, I'm looking past them because at the end of the day, these developers are already at launch showing signs of them caring. There were a lot of problems during the betas and they got most of them ironed out straight away. They did an 18 gig day one patch which has ironed most of these bugs out. There will still be some bugs here and there, but I'm pretty sure the developers will get on top of it and they will remove the bugs to the best of their ability. We can't expect them to get it perfect straight away. Every game pretty much nowadays has bugs in it, but they've done a very, very good job with the launch of this game, and I'm very happy to be playing this game. Not just because I'm a Marvel fan, but because the game is actually fun. I'm working on Hulk right now, getting him up to max, getting legendary gear for him. Then I'm going to be playing all of the other characters, getting them built up. And after I've done Hulk, I might have a lot of the war zones completed. I believe there's 80 war zones or something. But after I've done it with Hulk, there are 5 other characters to do the same thing with. So it's going to mix up the gameplay. Like, you'll still be doing the same missions and stuff, don't get me wrong with that. But you will have a completely different way of playing the game because the characters play so different. Not only that, with each of the characters, there's 4 different types of ratings or categories. You have like their melee, their ranged, their heroic, and also defense. So with Hulk, I would personally, because he's a big guy and he's strong, I would go with melee to be up close and personal, and I'd go with defense so that he can take a hit as well. So you basically build, like you spec into a tanky sort of build for Hulk. Then with Iron Man, I might go heroic to use his abilities whilst he's in the sky, and I'd go for ranged rating. And there's a lot of different ways you can play this game. There will be some builds and stuff because when you start getting blue and purple drops, they have these like perks to them. You'll also get some artifacts that can award like XP bonuses if I remember correctly, because I've not actually seen a major artifact just yet. I've only had, if it's a minor one, then a minor artifact. But I've had one, I'm pretty sure I saw an XP boost on it. If it wasn't that, it was a piece of gear. But you get things like crit chance, crit damage, like melee buffs and stuff. It looks like there's a decent amount of depth to it. And just the fact that when they do release new stuff into the game, if you want to and you haven't got the credits, you can purchase the credits to play with a challenge card. But at the same time, all the different regions and missions and stuff they add into the game are completely free. So what I'm going to do is pretty much leave the video there. There's just one thing I want to talk about before we wrap it up, and that's how the challenge cards work. You can unlock nameplates, you can get emotes, you can get outfits. There are 40 tiers for each of the challenge cards for all characters, but you don't just earn XP and level them up. It doesn't work like that. You get these points, and with these points, you can earn them from daily or weekly challenges. So it is good that it's called a challenge card. You have to do challenges to level them up. It's something we don't see too often. They're normally just whacked behind an XP barrier. But for an example, you would have something like a daily challenge being use your uni beam 20 times of Iron Man. That would get you 3 challenge points, which isn't even a tier of the pass. Another good thing about these, they're not timed. These passes will stay around forever. So once you've bought it, you have as long as you need to get through the pass and get everything unlocked by tier 40. And then an example of the weekly challenges, you would have something like kill 3 enemies at the same time using one of your abilities and do that 25 times. The weeklies are going to give you 11 challenge points. I'm pretty sure each of the tiers is 4 challenge points, although I'm not 100% sure on that. But I like the fact that they're throwing daily stuff in there. They're throwing weekly stuff in there. You have different ways of playing this game. There's a lot to it. So as I said, I'm not going to do a playthrough or walkthrough or anything like that. I'm going to leave that to other people on YouTube and streamers and everything. What I'm going to do is play through the game for myself, and then any tips or like anything I can give to help you guys out with your playthroughs, you will see that stuff on the channel. Like what I did with the secret room in the Condition Green mission, because that is a mission. The secret room doesn't work how the others do in the game, because you've normally got like pressure plates, or there'll be like power panels you have to shoot or something, or just use a heavy attack to smash the door down, whereas this one required a little bit more effort and actually took a little bit longer to find out how to open it. So that's a tip that I would put on the channel. But on that note, that's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.